I was asked today by a guy named Tyson, D'Angelo, what is your greatest success? What makes you so successful, right? What kind of car do you drive? What kind of house do you live in? How much money do you have in your bank account? And I said to myself, wow, this guy really doesn't listen to me. Because I've said before, and I will continue to say because I believe it, um, that success does not have to be monetary, right? But I told him my greatest achievement is this. When I was 15, I got a phone call to my mom's house and it said, hello? Yes, is D'Angelo there? Hey, this is him. I just wanted to call and let you know that your spouse birthed a healthy baby boy today. His name is Travion Eugene Rodriguez. Um, just wanted to let you know that. All right, well, thank you, sir. Click. 15, right? I can't afford Jordans to wear for myself. I don't even know how to hook up my video game to a different TV, right? I'm having trouble doing that. I'm having trouble with equations in math class. If you don't believe me, I just ask my math teachers. One of them being Mrs. Elliott, very instrumental woman in my life. Very, very instrumental and helpful woman in my life from Blue Valley Northwest High School, right? Amy Elliott McCready. But ask her. I mean, I'm having trouble with math, right? Um, so how am I going to be a dad, right? Is what I thought. But I remember something that I told my mom at a young age, at the age of 9 or 10, somewhere in there. I told my mom after a basketball game or a football game, one of the two, I came to her and all these fathers were there with their children. And I looked in the stands and my dad wasn't there. My mom wasn't even there. She had to work. She just picked me up from the activity, right? And I told her on the way home, I said, my son or daughter will never know what it will be like to not have a dad. Like, and not just have a dad, but have a dad on an everyday basis. Whether I choose to be with their mother or not, right? I wanted to be, from a young age, I knew that I wanted to be instrumental in the development of my children. Mentally, emotionally, physically, educationally, I wanted to be there for them every single day, right? And so when I started to tell people that I had a child, adults would tell me, oh, you're never going to be successful. You threw your life away. Oh, your life is over, right? It wouldn't be the last time I heard that, but I heard it. I thought to myself, how backwards is that, right? Because to me, I correlate being a father and being that on an everyday, consistent, and daily basis to being successful, right? That makes me successful, right? So I embrace the challenge of being a father, and I love it. I wouldn't have changed it for the world, the decision that I made, right? To be a father in my son's everyday life, right? And now I have 4 sons, Travion, Mark, Elohim, and Gabe, soon to be 5. I'm hoping it's a girl, though. I'm praying it's a girl, though, right? Because I'm really not trying to have a starting 5 basketball team, although there are some advantages to that, too. But hoping for a daughter, right? But I enjoy it on an everyday basis, right? And because I was dedicated to that, and that brought me internal happiness, and it brought me internal joy and peace. Whenever I stepped out in the external world, into society, um, I wore that. I was that. I am that, right? I am successful, right? I am happy. I am at peace. Um, Even though I did have a couple peaks and valleys there. But for the most part, I was at peace, right? And I still am joyful every day. Every day above ground is a good day. But anyway, I correlated that to success. And so what I'm trying to say is that when you embrace the simplicity of success, how simple success can be, and you embrace it, and you in turn garner happiness and joy and peace, right? And you become so driven within yourself to stay happy, right? When you step outside into society, no matter what anyone tells you, you know already that you're successful. You know that you have the capacity for success, right? because you wear it every day. You live it, you eat it, you breathe it. You're committed to something other than yourself on an everyday basis as a father or as a mother, right? And you guard it, you protect it, right? We guard and protect our children, right? So in that, you're successful. And then that will translate and correlate into your career, whatever your career might be. Understand that there are successful janitors. There are successful nurses in hospice homes. There are successful teachers. There are successful lawn care people, right? That people can be successful in any walk or avenue of life that they choose, right? Money and the amount of money you have doesn't correlate to success. And once we stop correlating the two, right, and we dissect them and fully study, and then once we study, embrace what we find in that study as to what success is, only then can we ultimately be successful, right? So as I'm saying this to Tyson, I'm saying this to everybody else. My greatest achievement isn't somebody I dunked on in college or high school on some AAU trip or something. It's not some poem I wrote in college or high school. It's not some play I wrote. It's not some movie script that's locked in my email somewhere. It's not any of those things. My greatest success in life is and forever will be me being a father and a husband and committed at both on a daily basis. I said before, greatness is a product of an individual doing the ordinary and simple things on a daily basis consistently for a prolonged amount of time. Mediocrity is the product of a person choosing not to do these simple and ordinary things on a daily basis for a prolonged amount of time. Right? That's the only difference. There is no great difference between the two. Very simple. That's the only difference, right? So when you become committed to something and committed to it on a daily basis, you'll become successful, whatever that is. I'm hoping that it's something positive, right? I was so committed to being a father that when I was locked up in 2010 for breaking the values that my mom instilled in me, right? And breaking the law, more importantly, on my path there, I knew I was going. So on my path there, I worked 2 and 3 jobs and I saved as much as I could save. I didn't go out, I didn't do anything, I didn't buy myself anything. I saved and saved and saved and saved and saved, right? So I go to jail, and the day that I'm sentenced, I go to my kid's mother and I hand her money. Hey, this is everything I've made, right? This will help you and it'll take care of the kids while I'm away, while I'm gone, right? I was so devoted to taking care of my children that even from behind bars, I made sure that they were provided for, and I would not allow that to be an excuse for them not to be provided for and taken care of. The same when I went to my halfway houses and when I was on house arrest, I was so committed to them being taken care of that I worked to ensure that they would be taken care of, right? And ultimately, that's what changed my life, because I became committed to not just my children and their development, but I became committed to a career in a career field. And so to go to work, I had to have a career. And so to have a career, I had to be committed to it. If I wasn't committed to it, I wouldn't have made money, and thus I wouldn't have been able to provide for my children, right? Not knowing at the time that those habits that I was creating on a consistent and daily basis would provide future success, right? I was able to go to places and do things that people told me I would never be able to do because of my mishap in my life legally, right? I overcame all of that. But that all stemmed initially from the success I felt that I had and how successful I thought I was from being a father on a daily basis, right? And not only do I do that, it bled over into my brothers because I was able to instill in them a lot of things, right? I was able to instill in them a work ethic, to be committed to something on a daily basis beyond themselves, right? And in essence, as the oldest, I was able to break cycles, right? So all of my brothers who have children are instrumental in their children's everyday life, right? They were able to see me do that from a young age and not have any excuses. And they were able to see me be successful at it, right? So they knew they could be successful at it. They saw me go and work and put in the commitment to work and doing the simplest things on an everyday basis. Therefore, they knew they could do those things. And they were able to correlate the two. I was able to get them to understand that the two correlate. So, in essence, I look at them as being very successful also. I don't have a brother who's a millionaire, though. I'm sorry, Tyson, I don't have a brother who has a $500,000 house, right? I do have a brother that has a BMW, but I don't know if you correlate that to success. So I feel that we're all successful, right? And that is my greatest achievement and my greatest success. My children and being a father in their everyday life, being a father-like figure and big brother to my siblings and watching their lives flourish because of it and watching them learn from my mistakes, right, in life. And when I say mistake, I don't be mistaken, I don't mean my son. I mean the legal situation. Having them learn from my mistakes and walk a different path, right? So I was kind of like the tutorial for them, so to speak, on what not to do. And it helped them out a tremendous amount. So that's my message for you today. Iambic, remember, it's more than a hashtag, it's a lifestyle. Follow me on YouTube at I Am My Brother's Guardian. Follow me on Twitter at Atlas3845, Instagram at Iambic7, right? And Facebook at Iambic7. Wish you nothing but the best. Name D'Angelo Little. Hope I left you much more. God bless.